I'm Haley, a new mom in her 30s after a long fertility journey, figuring out motherhood one snack break at a time.
And I'm Susanne, navigating fertility after loss in my 40s while raising a teenager and still hoping for one more.
Welcome to Two Truths and a Hormone, the podcast where age gap meets egg counts
And real talk meets real emotion.
We're diving into infertility, womanhood, and everything the brochures forgot to mention. The truth is, it's messy.
The other truth, you're not alone.
And the hormone, well, she's along for the ride.
Hello, welcome back to Two Truths and a Hormone. I am your co-host, Susanne.
And I am your other co-host, Haley. Welcome, everybody.
Yay! We were just talking about both of us had work today, and both of us had probably the longest week ever. So if we sound delusional, we probably are a little bit delusional tonight.
It's Friday. It's almost 7 o'clock. It's like Two Truths and a Hormone after dark.
Ooh, that would be a fun episode, though.
It's not quite dark, but
we need to do that like episode 15, like Two Truths and a Hormone after dark, and have you a little bit spicy. So welcome back to episode 11. I cannot believe we are at episode 11.
I know, we're in the double digits.
Boop, boop. Today I was thinking, we kind of touched on it a little bit when we were talking about like daycare, and you talked about, we talked about filling our cup and being better moms when we have filled our cup. So I thought we'd talk about kind of what we do as moms to fill our cup, and even kind of the guilt, because it comes along with that, and what we do to kind of overcome it. And I think it's going to be interesting because I just think generationally, because of our age difference, like some of our experiences are a little bit different. So I'm a little bit excited for that.
It'll be interesting to dive in.
I'm super excited. So before you had your sweet boy, what were your like go-to like to charge yourself or recharge yourself, or just kind of fill your cup or feel rejuvenated? What were your go-to things?
I mean, I guess it depends on how far back you want to go. Before, I've talked about, of course, like my nutrition journey and everything like that. So, I mean, working out and exercising has always been, or I guess not always, but it's been like a big part of my life since I kind of started that journey. So just taking time for that, going on walks are always good. I, playing video games. I like to play, I guess, cozy games.
Cozy games, I love that.
Yeah, I like to play like those kind of games. And so like sometimes I would get like super lost in that, or like playing for hours, just doing like so great, like just Monday.
Were you a Sims girly?
Gardening.
Like on your computer?
No, not really.
Okay.
I played Sims on the PlayStation like growing up.
Okay.
But I played it like as an adult. Like Animal Crossing, that was especially during COVID time, like that really got really big for everybody.
Yeah.
But I grew up playing Animal Crossing on the GameCube.
I didn't know it was out on the GameCube. I thought like it was new on the Switch. Oh.
No, I mean it's a different version.
Okay, I did not know that.
I mean, there's even like actually when we were cleaning out, I found was it the Nintendo DS, like one of the handheld game things. I had an Animal Crossing for that. Like,
please tell me you kept that. You didn't get rid of that, did you?
No.
Okay, good. Okay,
Not. No,
I was like,
totally have that. But my favorite game, Disney Dreamlight Valley. So if you're into cozy games, check that out. But yeah, that's kind of like before baby, after marriage. That's kind of what I did. I don't know what happened. Like there was a switch at some point where like before marriage, like what I would do, I would binge watch shows or like rewatch movies, and I just at some point I just don't have like the attention span for it. I don't know what changed. I think there's just maybe just a lot of things kind of on my mind since getting married. I don't know. But, so I mean, those are kind of the I guess the main things I did kind of before baby.
Yeah.
But
Fair. I like that. I like that. I think for me, I mean, the first one off the bat, and I'm going to say this and you're going to be like, you still do it. My baths, like, I've always been, so the house I grew up in was 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and, like, the shower didn't work right, so we just always took baths. So my entire, like, so, like, I'm not a shower girly. Like, I can't stand taking a shower. But you get me the hottest of hot baths. I can, like, wash my hair, bathe, soak, bubble bath, all the things. So that's always been one. I could get lost in a book. Like, hands down.
I want to be that way.
Get lost in a book for hours. I mean, I could read and finish a book. TV shows for sure. Like, I remember, like Saturday morning, like Saved by the Bell, like going way, way back, right? And California Dreams, which I'm sure you don't even know what that one is.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
And then, as I got older, like that changed. And movies, I was always, always going to the movies. I loved pop culture, pop music, pop culture in general. So I was a big magazine girly, like People Magazine, Us Magazine. I could, I would do that. And music.
I just thought of one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. Go for it.
I used to also bake. I used to bake a lot.
Okay.
I would try a new recipe like every week. Like I was in a sourdough for a while. Like.
Did you see the thing I sent you of gluten-free sourdough? Okay, good.
I did.
Sorry, I squirreled, but.
No, it's okay. Yeah. Yeah, and like the baking stuff that changed with like the nutrition stuff too. But that was like a really big hobby of mine. I like had like an Instagram page and everything for it.
You did. I remember joining that. No, and for those wondering about my squirrel, so Haley is gluten-free, and so she had been bummed. You were bummed when I was posting pics of my sourdough creations, and I saw an Instagram thing for gluten-free sourdough. So I don't know if it's good or it works or whatever.
I need to try it out. We'll see if once I have. I'm busy trying to keep a human alive. I don't know if
You're like, I don't need to keep some bread dough alive.
Yeah, I killed my starter, my original starter. So my dopey one.
Was his name Dopey?
Yeah, Dopey one, like Obi-Wan.
Oh, Dopey one.
Dopey one.
Well, mine was Monkey Doe is Monkey Doe Luffy for Monkey D. Luffy. So yeah. Don't you love how our husbands have rubbed off on us?
Oh yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure. Were you a Star Wars fan before?
I'm not really a Star Wars fan now. I just watch it and I'm invested in it because of my husband. Because I love my husband.
I love the honesty of it. You're like, I'm a Jake fan.
I'm
a
Jake fan.
Okay.
So.
I guess my big one was I love musicals. So whenever I could, I would go to like touring. I've never been to Broadway, but Broadway will tour around. The nation. Sorry, my dog is a hot mess. It's too hot to close the door. If y'all can hear and see her in the background, stop. You're being ridiculous. But so I would love to go to musicals and jam out to musical music and stuff like that. So that was pre-baby. During your fertility journey, did you have anything that you did? Because I mean, let's be honest, your cup empties out pretty quickly in a fertility journey.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty much the same. I didn't really change too much. I think, like, it has changed post baby, and we can talk about that as we continue. But I mean, that's just because I don't have the time. Like, I lack the time for things. But like, I mean, during the fertility, like, I didn't have a baby, so I mean, it took a lot of time to, especially like once you got like into the IVF and everything. Like, it took a lot of mental load and just time for tracking and everything like that, and appointments and everything. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty much the same during the fertility journey.
And I can't really see because I have a kid during my fertility journey. So
I will say, like, I am also a type of person. I don't know if I have like, I don't know, ADHD or I don't know what it is, but like, and Jake makes fun of me. Like, I will obsess over something. Like, absolutely.
I would have never guessed, like, Haley.
Yeah, I know. Like, do all the research, watch all the videos possible, read all the articles possible, like, and then I try it out, and then I'm like done. Like that obsession goes away. Like I remember I was gonna go to Disneyland with my sister and brother-in-law, so several years ago, and I was so excited. Like learned, I read about all of like the little secrets. I even, this is ridiculous and it's kind of embarrassing to admit this, but just so you know how my mind works, there's YouTube videos where like people will go on the rides and like film them like they're on, and so
Yeah.
like when you watch them, it looks like you're on the ride. I literally watched all the videos for every single ride. Like
Oh,
I
Haley.
seriously, like that's embarrassing to admit,
And
but
did you end up
that,
going to Disneyland?
yeah, I went to
Okay, okay,
Disneyland.
okay.
So like, and when we were standing in line, it was useful because I'm like, did you know? And like, so
They're like,
listening to
can you shut up?
all of these facts. So like, we're waiting in line, but yeah, I mean, so I don't know. Like, I kind of have like consistent hobbies, like I still like to play games, like things like that. But I feel like I go through hobbies. Like I try a lot of
Yeah.
different things.
I get that. I've never been like a huge hobby person. Like I remember when I
Yeah,
first started dating Scott and Jake's like, so what is your hobby? And I'm like, I like to read. And like for me, like I always felt like a hobby was you had to do something like art or
yeah.
puzzles or whatever. And I remember one time like Googling, I was like, does taking a bubble bath count as a hobby? And I was
I
like,
mean, yeah,
it does, Jake. It
it
counts as a
does.
hobby. So my hobby
That's
is
true
bubble
though.
baths. Thank you.
I mean, hey, do you use like bath bombs or
I've
like
done bath bombs. I've done bubble bath. Sometimes it's just hot water. Like I've
yeah,
done Epsom salts and stuff like that.
yeah,
Most days, because I mean that is how I clean myself. Which I know some people are like,
right,
"Oh, that's so gross." No, I shower and
yeah,
then I take a bath or whatever. Like that's,
yeah,
but that's just how I grew up. But it's
yeah,
very relaxing for me. It's very used to, not as much now because I think just my I guess anxiety for lack of a better word, but it's different anxiety than from when I used to have like really bad anxiety. Like my anxiety has got with all the fertility stuff and everything. It's gotten like
yeah,
sometimes I don't relax the way I used to in it. Um, the one thing that's different now is like I used to get in the bath and read a book. And now I get in the bath and scroll, and I hate that. I
yeah,
don't like that. It's not as
yeah,
relaxing for me. It's not as enjoyable.
yeah,
Sometimes I can feel my anxiety ramping up because, like, I'll get onto the Instagram reels and it's all about pregnancies and
oh
all,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So,
for
like, I'm
sure,
trying
yeah,
to be better about putting my phone away when I get in, which I just am
yeah,
trying in general recently of, like, you need to
yeah,
disconnect from this.
yeah. I've gone through phases where I've like baths, like pre non-toxic Haley. I love to go into Lush and
Yes,
get those
Scott
bath
was talking
bombs,
about
bubble
that.
bars. Like it smelled so good. I loved it. And then obviously I don't do that anymore. But if I do take a bath now, I use like magnesium flakes, and it
Okay.
like it knocks me out
I haven't
at
tried
night. Like I
magnesium
am
flakes.
dead asleep. So yeah,
I need to try
totally
that.
try that out.
I need to
Yes.
try that. Too bad I don't have any tonight. I have not slept well in like
Yeah.
3 nights. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
so tired. I
Yeah.
even look puffy, y'all. Like I'm looking at myself. I'm like, this is the worst I've looked on our on our podcast. It's awful. Um, so for me, filling my cup as a mom really did not happen until later in Bella's life. And I think a lot of that was generational trauma and upbringing because like I just remember like my parents did without all the time. Like I always came first. They didn't do trips without
Yeah.
me. They didn't do all these things without me. And so like I thought as a parent, like that's what you did. You
That's
just
just what you
sacrifice
do.
everything
Yeah.
for your child.
Right.
And yes, to a point, I do realize that there
Right.
is a generational like extremity that we are kind of getting away from like, parents in the 60s and the 80s and to now.
Right.
I do see though kind of it going to the other extreme sometimes when I'm watching some of these videos and I'm like, I think you're putting yourself first too much there, mama.
Too
But
little too
that's
much.
also
Yeah.
my own
Yeah.
opinion and I'm not, I should not be judging. But
Yeah.
so I really struggled for a couple of different reasons, right? Like I really struggled um filling my cup when it came to having a daughter. One, because of the mom guilt that came with it. Two, a lot of times like the things that would fill my cup in the moment, there was a financial toll on it. and we
Yeah.
were not in the place, other story there, but we were not in the place for me to be spending that, or I would feel guilt spending it because, maybe my
Right.
husband at the time didn't have a job and I needed to, carry the load more with that. Or then there was also the guilt, well, if I spend, we have this much money, if I spend this on me, there's not enough to do something with Bella too, so we need to do something with Bella first. And then,
Right.
kind of finding that balance. So I don't think I was really good at replenishing myself, I guess, for lack of a better word, until later in life. And it's really kind of been as Bella's become more self-sufficient, but I still deal with that guilt where it's like, I'm gonna go, I want to go out to eat on a date night or whatever, and then they're like, I still feel this like juggling act of, okay, well, I need to do it when Bella's with her dad so she's not at home alone. And like, Bella's cool of like, yeah, y'all go do what you want to do, but there's also this guilt of like, I need to include her with everything we do. And so that's really hard for me even now. Like, even now I struggle with, hey, we're gonna, we went to the movies while you weren't here.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I know that even, and you can cut this out if you want to, but I know that there were like a couple of trips that y'all went on, and I don't know if y'all necessarily told her like exactly what we were doing or
Yeah, no.
things like that, because you felt bad. You didn't want her to like feel like she was being left out and
Yep.
like missing out and things like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it was kind of twofold because there was that guilt, and then there was also, it was newer in the divorce, and she was going with her dad, and like, I remember the first time Scott and I went somewhere for the weekend, and she knew we were going out of town. She didn't know where we were going, and it was the first time she called crying that she didn't want to be there and she wanted to come home.
Yeah.
And like, I felt awful. And I don't know if it was like FOMO for her or if it, but yeah, like there were times like I did not tell her because I didn't want her, I wanted her to go and have fun with her dad and get used to that new routine. But if she's like knowing mom's off having fun, but then there was also that guilt of it too, because it was like, I'm going on a trip and yeah, Scott and I, split cost or, whatever it was. And then I'm going to come home and I'm not taking her on a trip for whatever reason. And so it was, there was guilt 1,000% on that. Yes. 100. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like I have never been good at filling that mom cup. Because like, even I told Scott the other day, because Bella was at a lock-in for church, and Bella's almost 15. Like, she rarely comes out of her room. It's like, ooh, the creature emerges, right? Although I will say, she had her first day of freshman year on Wednesday, and I was taking a bath, surprise, surprise, and she texted me, and it said, cuddles, ? Lorax, and she was asking for like to cuddle up on the couch and watch the Lorax, and I was like, oh my god, yes, of course, let me get out of the bathtub right now. But that happens very rarely, which I feel guilty about, right? Like, I feel guilty that I'm not actively like pulling her out of her room to come and do things. But then I was telling Scott,
15 years
I know. And then, but I told Scott, I'm like, I feel guilty, but it's nice that Bella's not here simply because I didn't feel guilty about
Right.
Because there's always like a Saturday and she'll like come down for lunch. And then, I'm like, hey, we're having pizza for dinner. Come grab your slice whenever you want it. And so, like, I may see her, I may not. And then it's, 11 p.m. and I'm going to bed. And I'm like, I've seen Bella once today. I'm an awful mother.
I mean, it doesn't help that y'all have a 2-story house. So, like...
No, but our bedroom's upstairs, too. Aside from our kitchen, everything is upstairs. Like, we have a game room with a couch, so we're sitting on that. So, yeah, thanks for trying to make me feel better. It doesn't work.
I tried.
But I think when I do let myself replenish, like, still the bath time, I try to read more. There was a shift after my mom died where it was really hard for me to get back into reading. And I think it's because I kind of would cope by distracting myself with my phone a lot. And that's where, like, even now I can be super into a book. I'm like, oh, I haven't checked Facebook lately. And I'm like, you checked it 5 minutes ago. You don't need to check it again.
Yeah, right. know it's bad.
It's so
Our
bad.
world is bad. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I will game. Scott has turned me into a gamer, but I game for the social piece of it. So
Yeah.
like
You game to talk.
I do. I game to talk. And I talk the whole time and they're not listening to me at all.
Shut up. And you'll just like my favorite
What?
is when we're playing like Fortnite or whatever, and we all like leave the area we're in, and you're like, where'd everybody go? You're just like left behind just because you're just dilly dallying
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
You're just there to talk.
Yes. My favorite video game memory is Scott and I were playing It Takes Two. And it was the one time that like the entire friend group was on the Discord, but everyone was playing something different. Like you and Jake were playing something. I think, all the others were playing something else, and Scott and I were playing that. And it's this hammer. If you've never played the game, it's gonna sound ridiculous. But it's this hammer that shoots.
It Takes Two is what it is if you're not familiar. It's a 2-player game, and like it's like a game, I don't know what they're called.
A co-op game. You have to work
game.
together to get through the levels. Yeah.
But you like can sit together. Like a lot of games now are like online, but this one you can like actually like sit together and play together, and like one person has to do a certain thing in order for the other person to do a certain thing, and it's a really fun game.
It's super fun. It's free on Game Pass if you've never played it. Play it. It's amazing. But we were fighting one of the level bosses, and it was a hammer, and he was shooting nails at us, and I'm screaming. He's nailing me. He's nailing me. Oh wait, no, he pulled it out. The nail pops out. And I just remember one of our friends just laughing, and he's like,
I started laughing.
You laughed, and he's like, does she hear herself? And you're like, it's all the time, because I'll say things and not realize how they say them.
I think that was the time. I think Michael was on.
It was Michael, yes.
And then he started cracking up, and then they were like, well, when Haley starts laughing, you know that it's like ridiculous.
And I talk about that all the time, so I'm like, oh my gosh. So I do game to talk, but that fills my cup, laughing and things like that. And Scott, he could sit and play for 8 hours by himself, and I'll get on, like I'll do Stardew Valley, and like the first few like things that you need to do, like you can achieve really quickly, but then when it's like, okay, I've been playing for 4 hours and I still haven't achieved this one thing, I'm like, screw it, I'm done. So I do game. What else? I watch shows some. I think it's the ADHD that I have as an adult now, which I truly think we have created a society where even if you didn't have ADHD as a kid, we do, because like just with work in general, like having to multitask all the time at work has made it where I can't not multitask at home.
Same.
Right? Like I can't sit and watch a show without picking up my phone and without getting up to do this and without like to be honest, this is the death of me. I'm like, I need this away from me. But then I like go through withdrawals. But
no, I understand.
I'll find shows. So like Bridgerton. Yeah. I watched that. But it's hard because we also don't have cable because everything's on streaming services, and I'm a cheap wad, and I'm like, I'm not paying for 27 different.
You need to try. Do you have Netflix?
We have Netflix, yeah.
You need to watch Sullivan's Crossing.
Oh my gosh, I started that the other day with Chad Michael McMurray.
Yeah. Chad Michael Murray.
Oh, did I say McMurray? Oh, jeez Louise. Chad Michael Murray.
McFlurry.
Okay, I'm a little delirious. The guy from Gilmore Girls, okay, ma'am?
Okay, I mean...
He is. He played Logan in Gilmore Girls.
Shows the little generational difference, because I'm like, the guy from A Cinderella Story.
Okay, I saw him in A Cinderella Story, too. But he was Logan in...
Freaky Friday.
No, he wasn't Logan. What was his name? Was it Logan? No. Yes, it was Logan in Gilmore Girls.
It was Logan. Yeah, I've only seen Gilmore Girls once, so I don't know too much about it, but... Yeah, totally. Check that out. I guess you've already have, but if
Well, I will
listening,
say
you
I
can
had
have
it
it.
on in the background and then scrolled through my phone, so I got through a whole episode and don't know what happened, so I need to watch it
Yeah,
again.
yeah, I liked it, and it's weird because the her dad is also from Gilmore Girls. It was the
Luke, yes,
yeah, Luke, you.
Luke.
Yeah. I just made that connection now that both of them were in that show together. But yeah.
So, but I still like struggle. Like it's funny because Scott and I have never gone on a honeymoon because we had just bought our house, and so I was
Yeah.
texting him. I was like I want to go on a honeymoon. Like I want us to like get
Okay.
away and go do
Yeah.
something. And so I started looking at like cruises or like all inclusive resorts, like something like that, which everything's out of our budget right now because I'm making us stick to our budget. But like I caught myself looking because Bella's gonna be in Salt Lake City in July for a youth trip, and I knew the dates of it, and I caught myself like limiting looking only for those
Those
dates
dates.
because like the
Yeah.
guilt of like going on a trip and being like, hey, okay, have fun staying here, bye.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so hard. It's so
Yeah.
hard for me. But I do think a lot of it was one, I'm such a people pleaser, and two, just the
Yeah.
way I was raised. Like my parents didn't go on trips,
Yeah.
things like that. So
Same.
it's a balancing act, I think, for sure. I think the one thing I have worked, what I focus more on right now when it comes to filling my cup is fighting the guilt I feel when filling my cup. I'm
Yeah.
better about filling my cup, and so now I'm just trying to not feel bad when I do. Even with
Yeah.
Scott, when I'm like, this is where I'm at, this is my limit, like, I need you to do this or I need you to do that because I need
Yeah.
that off my
Right.
plate. Like I feel like because he's great. He's like, just tell me what you need me to do, and I'm like, cool. But then I feel guilty doing it. He's like, well, I don't do anything to make you feel guilty. I get up and do it. I'm like, I know, but I know you don't want to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So how are you? So what has changed for you for filling your cup?
Yeah. Well, I guess, you've kind of mentioned kind of what you experienced growing up. So, like, my parents didn't go on trips either. Like, we never went on vacations or anything. I think there are dates where they would go grocery shopping and then they would come home, bring all the groceries, and then they would go eat. That was like their dates. And didn't happen all the time. So, uh, uh, I think for Jake and I, we were very intentional to make sure that we had time for ourselves. Like that was like a really big thing. Like we didn't want to lose time um that we spent for ourselves, but we also didn't want to lose time that like we spent together. And so I feel like we've kind of always been really intentional. In fact, like, Loden was born in October and the Wicked movie came out in November.
Yeah, you
And
went. I
yeah,
remember.
I went. Jake stayed with Loden, and I went to the movies by myself. Like, and I was,
I was so impressed with you of that.
just a few, like, maybe a month
Yeah,
postpartum at that point.
I remember
So,
you
um,
messaging me that, and there was like in that I was like, wow, like good for
yeah,
her, and I wish I had been that way.
yeah. And so, like that, like Jake, he'll go play basketball. Usually once a week. There were a few times where he was doing it a couple times a week. I mentioned before, like I have changed my work schedule so that I can take some time to like move my body after work. Like I've carved that time out for myself. That's really helped. Um, I like to go get a lash lift. That's not very non-toxic of me, but
Hey, you
again,
know what?
I'm scrunchy, and so I go get my lashes lifted. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the big thing is just like having the time, and it's I still play games when I can. Um, I haven't had much time
I was
the
about to say,
last month.
has that changed for Jake too? Because I know he was a
Oh,
big
that has
gamer.
changed really big for Jake. So Jake was really into he's like a one game at a time kind of guy.
Yeah,
And like his big game was World of Warcraft. And I mean, he was playing that every day, pretty much like and which is fine. Like
yeah.
he had the time, we had time to get home and eat and got cleaned up and everything, he'd go play or whatever. Or he would stay up late and play, which is fine. Um, but when Loden came into the picture, like, one, you don't always know if you're gonna get a good night's sleep.
Yep.
And so like you can't you
It's
can't
not worth the
put
risk of staying up late to play.
yeah, exactly. And like World of Warcraft is a game where you have to play like every day. Like you're constantly like, you know, I don't really know
I don't
all
either.
about it, but like it's a game that you have to be like really consistent with and like play. And so unfortunately, he just doesn't have the time to do that.
Yeah.
Things also changed this year. He works for the government, and things changed at the beginning of the year where now, whereas he was only going in the office 1 day a week, now he goes in every single day. So, I mean, he lost a lot of time with that as well. Um, and, I mean, he has also changed his schedule. Like, he works 4 days now. He works 4 10-hour days. And so he has Fridays off now. So like he at least has like a day where he can do something.
Does he like game on Fridays? Is that like his designated gaming day?
He hasn't really. I don't really feel like he's had the time. Like it's usually like we've had a lot going on the last few months.
Y'all have.
And so like he takes care of a lot of like errands and things that day. He'll go and like his really big thing right now is cards, like collecting trading cards. So he's like really into Pokemon cards right now.
Oh, there
So
you
that's
go.
kind of his thing right now. So he'll go and like check the stores, see if there's Pokemon cards or whatever. But um, yeah, like I said, I think we were just super intentional on like we didn't want to lose ourselves. We didn't want to lose ourselves as a married couple, and we just have been very intentional. And maybe it is a generational thing. I don't know. I didn't really ever think about it that way. Um, I don't know if it's just like more common and like more talked about to where as I don't really feel the guilt of it.
Yeah.
I don't know
But
if
it's funny
that's
because I've talked to people
bad of me
I've
or
talked to people my age that have felt the same thing. And like, of course, I meet
okay.
people. I've met people that
Yeah.
didn't like. I knew a married couple, and like I remember like, and I judgy? Yeah, for sure. But like, she'd go off and do her vacation. He'd go off and do his vacation, and I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people I know just like that transition of becoming a parent, like it was almost like it was expected you as a mom. And let me preface that as a mom,
Yeah.
it's almost expected or was expected that you lose yourself
Right.
in becoming a mom. And I
Yeah.
feel like have become more intentional, and there's more conversations about like
Yeah.
postpartum depression and
Yeah.
things like that. And as you have, but I also feel like there was that transition of like my mom's mom didn't work, and then like my mom did, but
Right.
even then like a lot of my friends' moms didn't work. Like there was that transition from like the
Mine
60s
did.
and
Yeah.
70s to
Yeah.
80s
Right.
on of like, okay, now you have more women in the work field. And as
Yeah.
that happened, like one, it was women in the work field, but then it was women in the work field that are working their way up and are achieving more, and they have
Right.
more ambitious goals, to
Yeah.
where now we have women that are career women. Not that they weren't before, right? But like,
Right.
so I just kind of looking back, I just kind of see this
Yeah.
change, which is great and amazing. And then I mean,
Yeah.
because even now you hear more and more women talking about that they're not interested in having children, and
Oh,
they want to travel and they have their careers, and which that's great too. Like no judgment in that either. But like I see that shift, and I was just kind of there in that middle of like that was the shift, but
yeah.
everything I heard was more you as a mom basically become this vessel for this
Right.
child. Like
Right.
you're nothing.
No.
That
Yeah.
is your identity
Absolutely.
now.
Right. Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, isn't it crazy though? Like when you really stop and think about that, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And then you think about like dads in general, and I'm like, how do dads fill their cup? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure they fill their cup the way they always fill their cup. Like there are changes though, and that's something
Yeah.
that
There are.
I
Yeah.
tease Scott about all the time, like because right now he, like I said, Bella's older, so he helps with like I cook, he does the dishes, I'm putting stuff away, and he'll go up like he goes upstairs, gets on the computer, I go in the bathroom, get in the bath.
Yeah.
And then, I'll come out and either we'll play something together or I'll lay in bed, watch TV, and he'll keep playing. And, like, every once in a while, I'm like, if we have kids, he's like, I know, it's not going to be like this. I'm like, enjoy it now. Like, I'm all for you enjoying it now. But I do think, like, deep
Changes a
down,
lot.
and he's made comments, like, he's like, I would gladly give that up for that experience and things like that. So that's a blessing.
Yep.
But yeah, so when you, like, I was really impressed. Two things you did, I guess they were both this week or last week, is when I was asking what you were doing on the weekend and you're like, I want to, like, get out of the house just to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, good for you. Because, like, my getting out of the house just to me is I'm going to go pick up groceries, right? Like,
Yeah. Well, a lot of that was because the weekend before, Jake went to a card show,
right?
and then the next day he went. Did he go play basketball
It was
the next
basketball, I think. Well, that's what you'd
day?
messaged me.
Yeah.
He was playing
Yeah.
basketball.
So I mean, which is fine. Like, I'm not like that's great. I want him to go and do things that he enjoys, and like I don't mind being with Loden. In fact, a lot of the times
Your
it's during
preference.
his nap time,
Yeah.
or he's about to go to bed for the night, so it's not a big deal. But I was also just kind of like, okay, like he had that time, so I do want a little bit of time for me.
Yeah,
like
for
at
sure.
like because I didn't leave the house, I don't think, that weekend.
Yeah.
Unless otherwise to go get like groceries or whatever. And so I was like, I just need like a couple hours just for myself. Let me get out of the house for a little bit. So yeah.
So I was impressed with that. Again, I was like, good for her. Like, that is awesome. And then you posted on your nutrition Instagram
Yeah.
some stories. And it was so, like, it made me teary eyed watching it. And it was, you had just finished your workout at work. And you were talking about, like, pre baby workout Haley.
Yeah.
And then, post baby workout Haley, and how you had, like, kind of come to the realization, like, you still were wanting to move your body and you're still, but that you were okay with a shorter workout because in the end, like, especially on that day or for whatever, like, you just wanted to get home to your family.
Yeah.
And I loved that. Like, I was like, this is, like, it was
Yeah.
just so neat to hear because
Yeah.
it was like, I still took the time for myself, right?
Yeah.
And maybe one day there's going to be a day you have a really crappy day at work and you're like, no, I need the full 45 minutes to,
Yeah.
punch some faces in the punching bag
Yeah,
or
and
whatever.
that's
But
the thing is like another realization, like I was saying that pre-baby Haley, it was a workout was 45 minutes to an hour, and I loved it. Like I loved it. I loved that time. It's just I don't want to do that right now. Like I'm in a season of life where I don't want to do that. But like I
mm-hmm.
know it's important to move, and I also like came to the realization is like this is just the season I'm in. As loading gets older, I will have more time, and there will be another time where like being in the gym that long is going to be like a big part of my life again. But right now, that's not it. Like
Yeah.
I have other priorities and desires, and um, but I'm also not gonna lose myself in them. So
I love that.
yeah,
I love that.
thanks. I'm
Do
glad
you,
you're proud of me.
yeah, I was very proud of you.
Thank you.
Do you ever experience the mom guilt? Like aside from like daycare stuff that we talked about, like the true like
Yeah,
I
daycare's a little different.
feel, which not to negate that is a big thing. But aside from the daycare guilt, is there any other times you feel the mom guilt, or is it more just the daycare guilt?
Um, I think for me, it's just the daycare guilt.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if that
That's
makes
not a
sense.
bad thing. Don't act like that's a
I feel
bad
like it
thing.
is though. I feel like people are like, "What is wrong with you?" um,
Oh,
like I said, I think I've just known. I'm gonna say this, and this probably sounds a little selfish. So I think I don't know if maybe some of it is like due to the infertility stuff. Um, like just knowing like how much I wanted this. Um, I don't I don't really know what I was gonna say with
that's okay.
y'all. It's after dark,
It's two truths and a hormone after dark.
Oh man, I think what I mean is like at the end of the day, this is what I wanted, um, and I know I'm a good mom. Um, I know I'm a good mom. I mean, he's happy, he's taken care of, um, he has everything he needs, and like that's just how it's gonna be. And I think I just have always like known that like I am also a human. Like, yes, I carry a lot of titles. I carry wife, I carry mom, I carry coworker, I carry daughter. Like I carry all of these titles, but at the end of the day, I'm also just Haley. And so that has always been like super important. And like I realize like, and maybe it is from some like the fertility stuff and like learning more about my body and everything like that. Like I I know what I need to feel my best. And if I don't feel my best, I'm not a nice person.
Yeah. I mean,
Like to be honest, like I mean, for example, on my way home from work today, I was tired. The traffic was ridiculous. Loden was crying in the back when I picked him up because he was hungry, and like I just was not feeling like I was hungry. I got to the point where I was not happy. Like
yeah.
Jake called me and like I asked him to go pick up food, and but like traffic was still so far back. Like he called me, he was like, "Did you feed Loden before you left?" I was like, "No, I'm still in traffic." He's like, "Well, I picked up the food 10 minutes ago." I'm like, "Great, well, that's going to be disgusting when I get home." And so, I mean, even then, like, in that, I was a little rude then, but, um, just, I mean, just as an example, like, I know what I need to feel my best. And if I don't do that, then I end up in like a situation like that. And
Yeah.
I don't want to ever feel that way. And I mean, maybe it's where I'm at right now. Like, I don't know as like Loading gets older and like he's like more aware of things, if maybe that will change a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, but as of right now, like I just
That's awesome. Is there anything you miss pre-baby? And the reason why I asked this is so it was so funny. While I was waiting for you to get on, I was scrolling through Instagram, shocking.
yeah,
And Kylie Kelsey, you know, she has a podcast. It's not Travis Kelsey's wife, the brother,
Jason.
Jason Kelsey's wife. And it was a snippet of her podcast, and she's like, the top 10 things I miss pre-baby, pre-children. And like, she's like,
Uh,
number one, I just want to sit. I want to sit and not move.
yeah,
No, I don't want to wipe your butt. No, I don't want to go see what the noise is. No, I don't want to fill up your.
yeah,
So, and then it ended, and I haven't listened to her whole podcast to know what all 10.
yeah.
But is there anything that you did like easier or freely prior to having a baby that you're like, if you really think about it, you're like, you know, I hadn't thought about, but yeah, I kind of miss that.
I mean, other than good sleep.
Hey, that is one of them. Good sleep.
I think like right now and like kind of what it's been like the past couple months, I've talked about a little bit of my anxiety with like the food related
Yeah.
stuff. So like I'm having to like think of meals not only that Jake and I will eat, but like also things that I can serve him. And so like I think that's kind of like top of mind right now, just because that's kind of where my
Like
life
the
is
ease of
at right
just
now.
figuring out food.
Just
Yeah.
figuring out food just for us and just sitting down and eating it. And
Yeah.
now it's like, okay, well, I have to portion this out. I have to, you know, not season it with salt. I have to cut it a certain way. I have to, I sit next to him and I eat while he's eating, but I'm also stressed out the entire time that he's gonna choke and like like whereas used to I could just sit down and eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I would
I
say
think
that's
for
probably
me, thinking back to when Bella was little, the one thing that I took for granted pre baby was just being able to walk out the door.
yeah, that too.
Like,
Yes. I remember
not
the
having to
first
worry
time.
about. I remember the first time y'all left, and you were like, I gave myself 2 hours, and it still wasn't enough, or
Yes.
something like that. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I was like, I literally
I
finished it,
died
and I
laughing.
was so late, and I still haven't eaten anything.
I
And I was like,
died
got this.
laughing. When you sent me that, I was like, oh, child. Oh, you have so much to learn. But, like, there's the diaper. I mean, I can't tell you how many
Yes.
times, like, I remember, because when we lived in my hometown, it was like 45 minutes to the big town, and we go for the weekend. And so it'd be my mom and I and Bella, and I'd have the diaper bag, and I'd have the diaper, and I wouldn't have replaced the clothes from when she had the last
Yeah.
blowout, or I didn't think to pack baby food, and we were gonna go eat at a restaurant. I'm like, I don't know when to eat her, and
Yeah.
so we were very frequent flyers of Logan's whenever we would go out to eat, because you can get a sweet potato with nothing on it, and then I would just
Yeah.
get ice and rub ice in it, and we feed her that.
Yeah.
But like things like there was never a time that I could just and then once she was like older, right, she would want to walk, or she would want to do something, or bringing her 27,000 toys in the car, like all the things. I'm like, I just miss walking out to the car and just going.
Yeah, yes. Luckily, most of the time when I get out the door, I'm going to work, and Jake is the one taking
There
him
you go.
to daycare.
That
So I
definitely
don't
is
have to
helpful.
worry about that every day. But
So I was
yeah,
thinking
for
about
sure.
that the other day, because like when I would go to work for the first almost 3 years of Bella's life, my mom was there, so I just left her there. I didn't have to do
Yeah.
anything. And then it was my ex's aunt would come to our house, and then when Bella was like 4, a little bit older, we would start meeting halfway. And but I was thinking about that the other day. I had gotten up and like I was making the coffee in the coffee pot because Scott is a snoozer, so he gets up late after me.
Yeah.
So it's just easier if I like fix our coffee cups, and like put everyone's lunch in bags, whatever. And I was doing all that, and I'm like, oh my god, if we when Bella's gotten on to me lately. She's like, you keep saying if a lot. It's when. I'm like, okay, when we have a baby. It's getting them ready in a diaper bag. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start training Scott now. There's gonna be more involvement on his part in the morning. He's like,
start making the lunches.
well, but I'm already downstairs. Like that's the thing. Like I'm getting my lunch out. I just put his lunch in a bag, because 9 times out of 10, the few times I'm like, you can do it, then we get to work, he's like, I forgot, I'm gonna go get Chick-fil-A or Chipotle, and it's like $20 later. I'm like, I will pack your 75-cent sandwiches that we made at home.
I don't know. I guess pick your bottles, I guess.
Yeah. What is the biggest, because it sounds like you and Jake have been really intentional couple-wise.
Yeah.
But is there anything you miss couple-wise? Pre-baby.
I mean, just being able to go places without trying to figure out what to do with Loden. I mean, really, the only thing we've been able to do is my mother-in-law will come and watch him, and we'll go see a movie. Which
Y'all are doing that this weekend,
yes,
right?
we're doing that this weekend.
That's awesome.
But like this week, was it this week? Yeah, it was this week.
You're like, I can't even remember.
The Jonas Brothers. This is where our generation is gonna.
Didn't they have like some big concert recently?
Yes.
Okay.
They're on tour. Susanne, I don't think you understand. It was Monday. Yeah. They brought out Demi Lovato.
I heard that. I did hear that.
To sing songs from Camp Rock, which is my childhood, and I don't think you understand. I thought about it all day long, and when we got in bed, I was like, Jake, did you see that Demi Lovato and the Jonas Brothers reunited?
He's like,
And
I don't care.
I didn't even know that they got together in the first place. I sat there and I laid back and I was like, all of my friends are either men or older than me, and nobody understands what this is going to be doing for me right now. But like just that, and like talking to him, I was like, I want to go to the concert so bad, but it's like, what am I can't just like
drop everything and fly.
I'm not gonna go by myself. Like I can't take Loden. Like I guess I could, but
put some baby headphones on.
Yeah, I mean you do have some. He doesn't like them.
Oh, do y'all really? I guess for the Thunder games. Is that what y'all got him for?
My sister had them, and
Okay.
so when we went, that was one of the things she gave us when we went up to Colorado.
Y'all should start practicing with those on him, just so like when y'all do go like to Thunder games and stuff like that, because he's gonna need to wear those.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
I know, but yeah, that's like the biggest thing is just being able to like, if we want to go to a concert, we can. If we want to go, like,
Well, yeah, because your work does the drawings, and so y'all would get tickets to the Thunder and all that.
We didn't go to a single game last year because he was born right when preseason started. And we just weren't able to go. So like things like that, just not being able to just. And like I said, we could. It's a lot. Like it is. A lot.
And
it
takes
a lot with you, and it just messes with the schedule.
And you have to almost the schedule. Like, you have to weigh
Yeah.
out the benefits to the cost of it, right?
Yeah.
Like there's always a transactional fee with everything we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm going to go work out or if I'm going to clean the house, like, you have a transactional fee for your body, for your family, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. And so, like, yeah, there's a transactional fee of, like, the mental toll of planning it, making sure everything's packed, going, worrying while you're there if whoever's taking care of them, are they feeding him right, doing
Yeah.
the, you know, all the things. And then if he didn't eat as well or didn't nap as well,
Yeah.
the toll it takes when you get home. And you know, because even,
Throws everything off.
yeah, it does, it really does. So
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes I think there is kind of definitely this phase of where sometimes it's just like it's easier to stay at home and do date nights at home or after
Yeah.
he's asleep and things like that. So I get that
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. And it's hard for us because we don't have family close to us.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, my mother-in-law was an hour and a half away, so it has to be on the weekend. Like,
Yeah.
she has a job. Like, she can't be here until midnight or whatever and drive home. So
Yeah.
yeah, but that's where we are right now. So
Well, that's okay.
I just keep saying it's a season. It's a
Is.
state. Like, it won't always be like this. Like, that's another thing. Like, I try to remind myself, try to remind Jake about is like it's a stage. Like, it's not gonna be like this forever. We're gonna miss it at some point. We're gonna miss the stage. So we just have to try and enjoy where we're at right now. So
I think that's the important thing is just taking a breath and
yeah.
Well, that was fun. I like that.
Yeah.
What movie are y'all gonna go see this weekend?
I'm gonna go see Fantastic Four. We're a little late on it, but
We haven't seen it at all, so you're good.
I know. We'll go and watch all the Marvel movies. So
Yes.
I'm excited. I love going to the movies, getting popcorn. It's nice. It's a
It is.
nice little escape for
I love. Yes, I agree. I definitely agree on that. I do enjoy going to the movies. I'm trying to think the last movie we went and saw. It was recently. Oh, Superman.
Oh, you went and saw.
We went and saw Superman. It was actually pretty cute. I liked it.
we need
Scott
to
was
see
like,
that.
it's okay, but it was
I
cute.
know. We need to see that, and I want to see Freakier Friday.
I didn't see that. I mean, I saw the original and I have it on DVD, but Bella's not gonna want to go with me. Scott's not gonna go with me, and
You should fly to Oklahoma City.
I know, right?
We'll
go
together.
go to the Warren.
The Warren, yeah.
Yeah, the Warren. We almost, so when How to Train Your Dragon came out, the live action, we wanted to see it on IMAX, and Scott and his parents were talking about, you know, that the Warren is the best IMAX. And, like, his mom was, like, dead set. We were going to drive to Oklahoma to go see it. And I'm like, okay. Guess what I had yesterday? You're going to be jealous.
Like food?
Yeah. You're not going to guess. Taco Villa.
Taco Villa?
I did.
How'd you get Taco Villa?
Scott's parents had to go up to New Mexico. Like, they drove up on a Tuesday and were home on a Thursday. And they're like, well, we're going to come home through Odessa. They were going to stay the night. And then they texted me, what was yesterday? Wednesday. They're like, we're at Taco Villa. What do you want? We're going to order it. We're just going to drive home. Like, they drove all the way from Odessa, like, at 5 o'clock at night. They have more energy than I do.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't have what I usually get at Taco Villa or Roses. So Christmas time this year is going to be kind of
suck.
It's going to be sad.
That's going to be awful.
Free now,
So, but what was funny is when they were ordering it, they told the lady what it was ordered for. She's like, oh, we get people like you all the time. And so, like, they folded it and they did it in paper and then they wrapped it in foil again. They wrapped it in foil. And she's like, next time y'all come up here, you call like 3 days beforehand and we'll get them ready and have them frozen for you. She's like, we have people do that all the time.
What the heck? I didn't know they would do that. That's crazy.
Yeah. But
awesome.
Scott got 2 and I got 1, and we picked him up on the way home from work, and Bella was hungry and I was having to cook dinner. And the dinner I was going to make ended up taking longer than I thought it was going to take. And so Scott was like, I'm just going to eat my 2 tacos. I was like, cool, whatever. My burritos. They're not tacos. And so I heated up my 1, and Bella's like, I'm so hungry. I'm like, do you want to split this with me? She's like, yes.
Aww. Such a good mom.
Nah.
Is that one thing you miss? Not having to share your free time?
Yes, and right now I miss having a non-insane daughter. She had her first geometry homework assignment due today, and I was trying to help her with it yesterday.
Oh
And
God.
for some reason, math always, like, she just psychs herself. She's great at math, and she knows she is, but when it comes to math homework, she freaks out, and I can't do it, and
Yours.
and she puts this wall up, and so then the attitude comes out.
Yeah.
And then I get real mad.
Yeah.
And so she's freaking out and not listening to me. So I'm already getting mad. I'm like, stop, take a breath, and listen to me. And she said, what is the worst you could do? I could get a bad grade. I'm like, cool, you get a 40 on your homework assignment. What's the worst that could happen? I kid you not, Haley. This girl was bawling. I won't have a high enough GPA to get automatic acceptance into UNT. This was her second day of freshman year. I'm like,
Totally get it,
child.
though. I get it.
If this
Man.
is your stress now, you will be miserable your entire 4 years, and I will kill you or institutionalize you. Like, whoa. And then
Oh,
today
yeah.
when they had to turn it in, I was like, "Did you turn it in?" And she's like, "Well, we went over it, and apparently ones that I helped her on, she got wrong." I'm like, "Whatever." And I'm like, "What grade did you get?" It wasn't for her grade. I was like, "Oh, so no 40?" No. So I miss having a non-drama
Yeah.
child.
You got a few years of that.
I do
so.
have a few years of that.
I
so.
was not not an easy teenager. I had attitude.
I mean, it's funny because she normally is pretty chill, but when she can get real defensive.
Yeah.
And when she gets real defensive, she gets real snippy, which then I get real hackled up, and I do work on that. But I mean, I think we have yet to have a math homework that we have worked on together that has not ended in an argument and me getting onto her. So I told her, I said, okay, we're not doing this again.
Normal. I think that's normal. Like there's themes out there where like people are like, anybody else, do homework with their dad and cry into your math textbook. So I think it's normal.
So we have a new thing, and we're gonna do math homework together every night, but like not with that.
Yeah.
But I was like in that moment, I regretted taking her to go look at a college. I'm like, oh Lord, help me. Oh my gosh. I'm like, Bella, it's okay if you don't get automatic acceptance. You could still go. But then I'd have to apply to my backup colleges. Oh my
God. She's a long time to worry about. And she's going to change her mind like 50 times.
No. But I will say that is my child. Like, that is this. For sure. So. Well, that is all the rambling that we had for today. If you stayed through the craziness, thank you. What is your truth for the week, Miss Haley?
My truth. I don't know if I have a truth. Well, let me see.
What are you doing with your house? Because that is a truth.
We are painting and redecorating.
See? How's that going? Are you loving it?
We painted the ceiling in like our living room, dining room, kitchen, entryway, hallway because it's all connected last weekend.
And can you imagine it took more than one day?
Oh God, don't get me started. Well, it took 8 hours on Saturday and then took 7 hours on Sunday.
Yes.
Like painting the ceilings freaking suck.
Why are y'all painting your ceilings?
They need painted.
Oh, okay.
The paint on these walls, they like water it down. It's super cheap. And, like, you can't clean it.
I've never
So,
painted
like,
my ceilings. I
it
paint the
sucks.
walls, but
If you don't have to, don't do it. 'Cause
Okay.
It freaking sucks. But yeah, so we'll be painting the walls maybe starting Sunday. But yeah, we're trying to make this house a home. So
there you go. That's your truth.
that's the truth.
My truth was actually a celebration last week. So I had kind of a wonky mammogram. I guess about a month ago? It feels longer than that now. But hardcore spiraled on that because of course everything's very vague and like. So I knew I had to go in for a follow up. And I mean, I had convinced myself I was gonna die the next day of cancer that was eating my entire body, which is not the case. Not dramatic at all. Let me tell you how my therapist and I have lots of things we're working on because she's like, "Oh, you went dark fast." I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah." Like we like way
Yes.
dark fast. She's like, "Okay, well that's what we're gonna start working on." Um,
Good.
yeah,
I'm glad you had your therapy
yes,
session.
and I'm actually seeing her again next week because we're doing 2 weeks instead of 1 month.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Um, but I ended up going for like a more intensive ultrasound or mammogram and ultrasound. And I fully had like kind of accepted, but not really accepted, like I was going to need a biopsy because no way they were going to be able to. And I didn't. She walked in. She's like, "You have water filled cysts. You're good. Like, there's nothing to worry about. I have zero concerns." And when I tell you, like, the tears of crying relief, like, hysterics came out. So that was my truth that I went a little bit insane.
That's
And
okay.
then I was a little bit
But you brought
normal and
good news.
then quickly insane again. So,
I mean,
it's,
that's okay. We're all a little insane.
yeah. What is your hormone?
My hormone this week is that Loden has moved up to a different class. Moved up to
Oh,
a
is this the
bigger
first time
class
y'all have
this
done that?
week. Yes. It's still an infant room, but it's like infant two. It's like the kids that can move around
Yeah.
more and everything like that.
Oh,
So
Haley, I didn't know. That's so
and I've also
exciting.
started thinking about planning his first birthday.
What theme are you gonna do? Are you doing like?
It's gonna be like Loden is one happy boy because he is such a happy boy. He's
I
always been
love
so happy, but it's
it.
gonna be like some really fun colors and like balloons and things like that. So yeah,
Oh
and
my god, I'm so
he's
excited.
getting so big, and it makes me sad, but also happy, but also really really sad. So
Welcome to parenthood. My
yeah.
hormone is I started my period today. So we are. I'm going in on Sunday for a baseline scan, and we're starting our second medicated cycle with a higher dose of letrozole. So I'm starting to freak out about that for sure because I don't know how that's gonna work. But my hormone is because I started my period today. I have been extra hormony, and every year, and I know it's gonna happen every year, but every year around this time, it's the beginning of school year, and something goes wrong with Scott's job, and he spirals into this like I am an awful failure, loser, depression, and I don't know why, but I'm not compassionate about that. Like I can spiral myself all day long, but I'm not like I'm more, and I think it's because my mom was so tough love. She's like, get over it, right? But like when someone's sick or when this, it's like, okay, cool. Like, what can we do to fix it? And so I've been trying, like, okay, what can we do to fix it? No, nothing. It's awful. And so I'm just like, then just lay in your misery. And I'm going in the other room. So I say that in my head, and instead I'm like, well, I'm here if you
Yeah.
need any help. I love
Yes.
you. You're
We had a
wonderful.
nice venting session
We
last
did, and
night.
I
So.
swear he had to have read my venting
Oh
session to
God.
you, which he didn't. But then today, like he's like, "Well, I'm gonna mow the lawn, the front backyard when we get home from work," and I'm like, "Well, I didn't ask you to. I asked you to do it. Do one Saturday, do one Sunday." He's like, "No, like I'm taking on a new mentality. It's all work until we're caught up. No fun." And I'm like,
Okay.
"Okay, I didn't ask you to." He's
That'll
like,
last
he
for a week.
he. I know. I don't even think a week. I'm pretty sure he only mowed the front yard, and then I heard him come in because it's freaking 105 degrees outside. I'm
Yeah.
like, you
Yeah.
idiot. But he's like, well, I need to start doing instead of waiting for you to ask me. And I'm like, are you reading my text messages, Haley? And I'm like, where did that come from? Well, you've said that in the past. I'm like, yes, I have said that in the past, but are you reading my text
But
messages?
sounds really on point right
I'm
now.
like, either that or Jake read Haley's text messages and told you. And
Maybe I don't know. He hasn't said anything,
no,
so.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So I love my husband, but
Yes.
I was a little bit hormonal
Yes.
and wanted to strangle him
Yes.
a little bit today.
No.
So it
I
will
think we've
pass.
all been there. We've all been there.
Yes, it will pass and everything will be great. But that was my hormones. So yeah, fingers crossed for another round of letrozole.
Yep, you got this. Hopefully the headache isn't
That's what I'm a little bit
bad.
worried about because I didn't
Yeah.
have too bad of like side effects from, but they're gonna double the
Yeah.
dose.
Take Tylenol preemptively. But
Right.
thank you, everybody,
Yes.
for listening to our kind of two truths and a hormone after dark ish
It was. This
delight
was fun
there.
though. We just kind of
It
rambled. It
was
was awesome fun.
we did ramble, but it was a fun episode. But if you haven't yet, make sure you go check out our other episodes. Got some fun ones and some deep ones and everything to you can learn more about us. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Two Truths and a Hormone, all spelled out. You can also find us on Spotify and YouTube, Two Truths and a Hormone. Um,
And email
if
us,
you have, yes,
twotruthsandahormone@gmail.com.
yes, yes.
Yep.
If you have anything you want to share, any suggestions of episodes you might want to hear, make sure you send those to us.
And you can also
Um,
follow Haley's nutrition journey on.
yes, Haley's Health Corner, and it's Haley. That's how you spell Haley. But we're getting close to starting to release some things, so make sure you
I'm
go
so
check that out and follow me there. Yeah.
excited. Yay!
All right. We'll talk to y'all next time. Bye.
Bye!